Right, so being day 3 and all, still taking the action, man. You know, all the things that I've learned over the last decade or so. One of the things I did learn was using the non-dominant hand to heal the corpus callosum, which is trauma, really. See, the way trauma works is something happens in our lives, either abruptly or suddenly or over extended periods, and the emotion is too much for our brains to comprehend and process. So what happens is we develop a defense mechanism or a behavior commonly referred to as a trauma response. And these trauma responses, whatever it is, it's different strokes for different folks. But, it's subjective in nature as well. Which is, I could get into a whole nother thing about that, but it's subjective in nature, which means it's relative to the eye of the perceiver. That being said, we use our dominant side, our logical side, to create these very sophisticated ways of dealing with anything that's happened that's caused us to be the way that we are. And those mechanisms, those processes that we develop over time, they become less and less effective to the point where they even become destructive. It's certainly the case for me. And upon doing a trauma healing week in the Hunter Valley, I learned this technique of using my left hand to draw a picture, and in doing this, I'm engaging the right side of my brain. The right side of my brain is where the childlike state lives. It's where my creativeness is. And I've got to say, I'm feeling really peaceful at the moment, just drawing this picture. No expectations of it needing to look good or be good, but just drawing it, because I'm enjoying drawing it. Not even really drawing it to heal my trauma, I'm just enjoying the process. Because you see, trauma keeps us in our logical mind, our logical brain. And it does that because we don't want to suffer the same thing again. So these defense mechanisms were logically created by a much younger version of ourselves. And again, they're not exactly working anymore. And the way that all works is the amygdala, which is at the front of the brain. It's a little almond-shaped organ. When it flares up, when we have a response to an event or an action or something somebody says, then it activates the memory in the hippocampus, which doesn't know time or space or present, past and future. It just associates an emotion or an event with something that poses a danger to you or to me, to the self, really. So our responses to these things, they can be violent, they can be shutting down, freezing, they can be imitating our abuser, any number of ways which we try to cope with this. But that's what trauma is, that's how it works. So I'm just sitting here drawing away with my left hand. And I thought I might just film this because ultimately I want to be trying to get onto my life purpose and have to face facts. I've been through a hell of a lot of shit in my life. Most of it self-imposed, most of it related to the very thing I'm talking about right now. And ironically, my defense mechanism actually caused more trauma than anything else in my life. And just engaging in an activity right now. And I thought it might be interesting to document. It's a very, very weird thing, trauma, but if we can rebuild the corpus callosum, which is the bridge between the left and right brains, we can rebuild that through getting in touch with our creative side, or our inner child, if you like. Then what starts to happen is that we're not dragged into the side of our brain where we interpret things that are presented to us in a way that is dangerous quite so readily. We can process things like fear, and we can process things like anger. We can process things that pose a threat to our overall well-being. Ironically enough, in a much more constructive way. So just drawing a moon. I thought it was going to be the sun, but I think I might make it the moon. Interesting moon, but not bad for a left hand. I mean, I am right-handed, so I think this has turned out pretty good. I don't want to live another year with the same hang-ups that I've had for 45 years now. I don't want to live that way anymore. I want to live in peace. Here's Orion. And Sirius. So I'm putting in the work needs to be done. I'm not waiting anymore. I want to have people in my life and good relationships with them. I want my family. I want my mates. I want a meaningful vocation. I want to smile and mean it. I want to be happy. I know happiness isn't really the goal, but I want to have peace in my heart. And I want to live a purpose-filled life. The way I've been trying to manage that is by running away from who I am. That ends now. I'm done with that. There's nothing wrong with Adam. And I have a lot of friends who would say the same. So, here I am doing the work, guys. Becoming my best self. Trying to figure it all out. Okay, so that's just about it. Don't know what else really to say about this except that I get a lot of benefit from it. And you know, when I do stuff like this, I know that I'm headed towards something beautiful. I'm really grateful to be sober today. I'm really grateful I got to see my family at Christmas. I'm grateful that I can be of some help to them. I'm grateful to be on this healing path. I'm grateful for the love that I've found along the way. I'm grateful that I never gave up. I'm grateful for those who haven't given up on me. I'm grateful for God as I understand God. I'm grateful that I have a home, that I'm able to keep the lights on, that I'm able to pay the rent, that I have a job with people who are beautiful people. Again, I found a lot of love on this path, man. I was just so stuck in myself, I didn't see it. For that, I'm really sorry, but so grateful. God, I was stuck. It doesn't have to stay that way. It doesn't have to stay that way at all. I'm really liking how this picture is turning out, actually. All with my left hand. I'm not left-handed. But the free flow of what I want to see in the moment just comes directly through the right side of my brain. The right side. part of me that is the healer, the deliverer, the creator, the one who accepts the parts of me that somehow I've come to deem unacceptable. It's not unacceptable. It's not unacceptable at all. I don't even know why I'm filming this, but I'm glad I am. Because documenting this sort of a thing will show those that I help in the future, as well as myself, that anything is possible. That you can overcome your demons, the things that prevent us from being truly authentic here. Bing!